To recap, two main types of ownership in the franchise space, and that's owner operator full time, and then there's semi passive ownership. Some people call it a side hustle. It's really a business on the side. So you can use any phrase you want, but essentially it's figuring out what availability you have throughout the day and how much time you could dedicate towards this business. Then you have passive ownership, which really doesn't exist, not much in the franchise space. So I would focus on the first two. With semi passive ownership as well, considering when you are available. If you have flexibility during the day, great. But if that availability is only nights, weekends, and holidays, we need to plan accordingly and find a brand that would work with. It's going to be a combination of the right franchise company as well as the general manager running the day to day. It's really setting the expectation that when you're looking at brands, one of the most important things we talk about is knowing the role in the business, what exactly you'll be doing in the business, average day in a life. Also comes down to availability because we want to make sure that franchisor will support that decision to run the business semi-passive, where you need to create a pro forma accordingly, a task responsibility list for the entire team, and make sure that's something you're comfortable with while simultaneously creating that pro forma for a full-time owner so that you can get a clear understanding of the break even and expenses that come along with a full-time owner as well as a semi-passive owner that has that general manager in place. So I hope this was helpful. There's a lot of buzz terms and words and phrases and things like that, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the franchise companies have that franchise avatar, who they're looking for as their ideal franchisee based off the feedback, based off the performance of the franchisees in the system. Sometimes they want a full-time owner, and then eventually they put together a program and support systems to allow for semi-passive ownership. That's business, right? Things evolve, new systems are put into place. One final note on a owner operator, if that's someone that's full-time, that can, in a sense, be run part-time if it's a husband and wife team where maybe you're both putting in part-time efforts equaling a full-time owner. So these are things to ask the franchisor or whoever you're speaking with in the very beginning of the process to see if it works, because it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches in exploring brands if they don't allow that type of ownership. If they just want the one person full-time, whatever the case may be, you want to make sure you're aligned with that franchisor. And this is addressed in the very beginning. We're talking first, second call, so they have a real good understanding if this is going to be a good fit. And if it's not, part ways. Look for other companies that perfectly align with your skill sets, how you want to run the business, and obviously have availability in your markets. I hope this was helpful. We hammered the two types of ownership, but I just wanted to make it clear because there's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of questions around this. I encourage everyone to really explore your job. If you have a job, what is your flexibility? If you work from home, can you maybe answer more phone calls and emails? Maybe there's another position in the organization that can give you some more flexibility to run the business. These are the questions you should be asking your employer. Taking a job could be for a pay cut closer home, but it allows you the flexibility to work from home or only commute into the office a few days a week. Maybe taking a pay cut, but having the ability to launch the business. And you know what? If your goal is to eventually transition full-time into the business, so be it. Maybe it's that first year of taking a little bit less of a salary, but getting a salary in order to get that business up and running and eventually leave the job anyway. Some things to consider. If there's any question or any topic or anything I can dive in a little bit deeper, let me know. These are questions that I get. I just promised the last few individuals they'll get a kick out of this because we discussed this and I said I was going to record a show, and I obviously keep everyone's name and information confidential. Hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know if you want to do a deeper dive or if you want to know how this would work for your specific situation. Just go to the brand new website we just updated, ggthefranchiseguide.com. You can book a call, top right-hand side of the screen. We'll talk through your situation, see if it works. Let us know, but we'll walk through some different scenarios. Maybe it's something that you have to go back to your employer to see if you could work from home or have a little bit more flexibility. But love to talk through the process, answer any questions. Maybe we'll create another episode, but I appreciate all your support. Let us know in the comments, thoughts. Was this helpful? Was it not? Can I help in any other way? Go to the website. We have a ton of previous episodes. We're going to be revisiting a few kind of with some updates and if there are any changes, and looking forward to your feedback. Thanks again for your support, everyone. And we will talk to you guys soon.
Ready to see if you're a fit? Your journey to freedom starts with a single phone call.